All right, Anita Henderson here with the Genealogist Writing Room. Again, still at RootsTech 2018.
Yes.
There's so many people here, you will be blown away. It's awesome and amazing. I get to meet new people like Joyce and Huston from St. Louis, Missouri. How you doing, young lady?
From the Show Me State.
From the Show Me State.
Yes, ma'am.
Absolutely. And she's showing people some stuff because she is her family's historian. She has collected so much information for her family, she didn't even know what to do with it. And that's why you're here at RootsTech.
This is one of the things that motivated me to come here, because I wanted to know what to do with this mantra of material I have, and that I have inherited from my mother, who inherited from her mother as well. So I got it honest, you know, this family line of historians. And in 1991, I hosted our first O'Kelly family reunion in Las Vegas. And so we have this tree that was drawn. This is the O'Kelly family tree.
O'Kelly family tree.
Yes, and we have the O'Kelly family, and we have Ellen Fisher. And then her sons, Dan, Will, and Charles O'Kelly. And I kept asking, you know, why is her name Ellen Fisher, but this is the O'Kelly family reunion? I wanted to know more about that. And then I love seeing all my mother's names and all up in here.
So you recognize some of those names?
I recognize those names. And I said, well, you know what, I'm going to start digging a little deeper. Because I heard the story about our slave ancestor, Ellen Fisher. She had children by two white O'Kelly brothers who were plantation owners.
Okay.
Yes, and the story was, you know, she was beaten and blinded in one eye, threatened to be tossed into a burning bush if she did not succumb to his advances. So, you know, so that's what happened.
Those are the hard stories, unfortunately,
right,
that we have to hear sometimes.
But you know something, I'm proud of Ellen because she raised her sons in an amazing way. She had other children as well, but the O'Kelly boys, they were farmers, they were merchants, and they sent their children in the early 1930s to college. So I've come from a background of college-educated, you know, ancestors, and they then taught.
Right.
In the neighborhood, and my great grandfather, he hosted the head mistress of for the schooling.
Okay.
In his home, and then they built a lodge.
Okay, so you know all this, you've gathered all this information, but you've gathered not just, you know, stories, you've also gathered items.
I do.
In different mediums.
Tell
us about that.
My mother, she took some TV production classes, so she has some footage in TV format. She has Super 8 video.
People are like, what?
Yes,
Super 8?
Beta. I have all these VHS cassettes. I started converting them into DVD. Then I put them into MP3s and then MP4s.
Right.
Uploaded it to YouTube. So we have a Black O'Kelly's website. We have a Black O'Kelly's YouTube page, our Twitter page. We're very active in social media, and a lot of family likes to participate in it.
Excellent. Excellent. And how about the younger generation with all that technology
That's
added to it? That kind of brings the younger generation, hopefully.
Yes, they are involved. We have a DNA group, but we found our white ancestors. We had already found a paper trail.
Right.
And connected.
So you connected to the white side through DNA?
First through paper.
Of course.
And then,
which I think is critical.
Yes.
Through paper.
And then a white ancestor descendant found our website, naming his family. He says, would you all be willing to take a DNA test? I'd like to see if we're related through blood.
Awesome.
And I said, sure. And we found participants. We started with the Y line, the male. And lo and behold, we were perfect matches.
Excellent.
So we've expanded that to other family members on the white side.
Okay.
We had a get together. They hosted me this week, and my cousin Nikki, they're hosting her at their home, and then we're going to have a get together.
That's excellent. And so that's really what RootsTech is about. It's about connecting and belonging, building those bridges.
Building the bridges.
Whether it's through the paperwork, the documents that we find,
Yes.
or through DNA, or both.
Yes.
Sometimes it is through the oral stories that we hear that are told, and we are able to layer other facts on top of that.
Exactly, because our oral history was that the white slave owner had recognized his O'Kelly sons, and that's why they had these farms and whatnot. That wasn't the case. I found his probate record. He didn't even have a will. and his wife didn't recognize any of their mulatto, half siblings and whatnot. So they got that on their own. One very interesting record we found was that our slave ancestor, her name was Ellen Fisher, after the Civil War, we found a record in the Freedmen Bureau records where she had sued the wife of the slave owner for her money for doing her work in the house.
Yes.
Okay.
I bet that happened more often than we realize. I love that.
I love it.
Did she win?
She did not win the case.
Okay, but she did it.
Yes,
there you go.
She
girl.
filed that claim. Give me my money.
I love that. I love it when people knew that they were due something.
That's right.
And they fought for it, even if they didn't win. But a lot of times we find that they did.
Yes, yes,
and
indeed.
I love that.
Yes.
I love to hear that. So that shows you the stamina and the strength of our people.
That's right.
That they knew what was due them. And
right.
they tried for it, and oftentimes they succeeded.
They did.
So you are here at RootsTech to get some
am.
information about how you take all this multimedia information that you have and put it together.
Yes, I wanted to be accessible to others that's doing research on our family line or just, the American story.
So how are you loving it this first time at RootsTech?
Yeah, this is my first time. I didn't even realize this was the largest conference of the world in genealogy. And I started wondering what was going on when I came a day early, and they said be one of the first 4,000 and get I said first 4,000. I didn't realize that because I've been to several conferences. I just wasn't aware how huge this was. But my cousins that live here in Utah, part of the LDS community, and my mother became a member of the LDS community as well. But they were saying, you really ought to come check this out. And then once I started seeing all those sessions and everything, I said, oh, I must be here.
Wow.
So that's how I ended up here. And I'm so glad to be here, meeting people like yourself, just go-getters and leaders and, like mine, and just sharing an enthusiasm such as what I have.
It's exciting to connect ourselves to our past and then to connect our past to the greater American narrative is a wonderful thing, and that's what we're all about in the genealogist writing room. So we're going to wrap it up, and thank you for watching, and we will see you next time.